Hello everyone, my name is Lowko and welcome to some more Hearthstone Heroes of Warcraft Goblins versus Gnomes. Today we're gonna be continuing our ranking up on the ladder, and it's going to be a Face Hunter deck that I know a lot of people aren't the biggest fan of, but it's a lot of fun to be ranking up with, and quite honestly, the decks are very solid if you want to climb the ladder quickly. So I would highly recommend you give this deck a try. The nice thing about this deck is that it's really cheap to play. You don't actually need a whole lot of cards. And it's only running a couple of the Goblins versus Gnome cards. So what's going on is that you can sort of like get it out very quickly into the game without having to spend like a lot of money or a lot of your gold on the Goblin versus Gnome cards, because it's only running, let me actually double check right here. Yeah, it's only running 3 cards from Goblins versus Gnomes. It's double Clockwork Gnome, which is one of them right there on the screen, and one Glaivezooka as well, which is also a nice little card. And all in all, this deck in general is just very cheap. Now, as always, I will leave the actual deck list right below that like button in the comment section, or not of the comment section, in the description of the video, because I didn't make this deck myself whatsoever. I actually copied it from a guy that posted his deck on Hearthstone, who managed to get all the way to rank number Legend, rank number 24 on the ladder, which is pretty huge. There we go. Gonna get on started. Now, the nice thing about Face Hunter decks is that you need to go for the face, right? That means that the games in general don't take nearly as long. I mean, you can obviously rank up as well with a control warrior, but your games are more often than not gonna take a long time. Whereas with Face Hunters, you can play, I don't know exactly how many, but you can play quite a bunch in just an hour or so, allowing you to basically go from like rank 15 to 10 in an hour. If you get a little bit lucky. Well, maybe a little bit less than that, but you get the idea. You rank up a bunch faster than you normally would with other kinds of decks. So the nice thing about the opener hands is what you're looking for is mainly going to be the Undertaker. The Undertaker benefits from minions with Death Rattle, and obviously all the Curse of Naxxramas cards, as well as a bunch of the old school, so to say, cards are great versus these kind of decks. What are you gonna do? Hero power? Really, dude? Whoa, that's not the best play. I mean, you know, I'm sure that is not your best play right there. Giving me a free card draw on top of it as well. That's alright with me. That's definitely alright with me. Now, what you're trying to do with this deck is play as much hero powers as possible, but you want to try and get the charge guys out as well. Because at this situation, this guy is pretty much guaranteed to attack twice, unless he has a swipe. If he has a swipe in hand, that would actually be bad. Now, think about it, I would have been better off playing a Leper Gnome and hero power. Unless he has... No, if he doesn't run a swipe, I'm in a great position right now. Or he doesn't have it in hand. But that was actually kind of a misplay. I should have Leper Gnomed, hero powered right there, which would have been slightly better. But nope, it's not happening. He's taking a lot of damage to the face already. And whatever is gonna happen, we still have the chance to draw into the double kill commands, which will give me a very solid chance to just straight up take this game. So I'm actually gonna play these guys. Keep going full face! And he's already at 8 health right there. Just slowly but surely we're taking down on him, and he's already getting to the point where he will actually die next turn if he doesn't play a taunt. He can't just keep hero powering and taking down these minions because he's gonna lose. Obviously, Leper Gnome still deals 2 damage as a Death Rattle as well, which is huge, and we have the Unleash the Hounds in hand as well. And we also run double Owl, which means that we can actually silence if we really are in trouble. Now he does manage to get double shield up right there, which is very nice for him. Let's have a look. Now we should have lethal, I think, in most situations. Let's double check. We can run there. We run him into the death, so he will actually die, which is alright for us. Then we run him into the face right there and go for the steady shot. And get the very first win right there. So that game right there took about 4.5 minutes. That's a good example of the Face Hunter deck. Let's play a couple more games because, well, I like where this is headed so far. But obviously there is quite a lot of bit of RNG involved with these kind of decks. But as long as you're having, like, let's say 60 to 70% win, eventually you'll just be able to rank up on the ladder. And I know that a lot of people are having success with it. I mean, like I said, the guy that made this deck actually got all the way up to Legend with this deck as well, which is, you know, just the correct way of playing it, right? So here we go. We got another game coming up right here. It's going to be a Hunter versus Hunter. Now I can't read my opponent's name. To me it looks like Hokapas or something like that, but that's probably not how you say that in the slightest. And we once again got our Undertaker. Sweet. Undertaker, Mad Scientist, turn 1. I like it. Now, the only traps that we are running, like I said, are the explosive traps. So the Mad Scientist is guaranteed to put out the explosive trap, which is alright for us. Loot Hoarder played here as well, which is great. And we're gonna play the Undertaker turn 1 and go straight into either double 1-drops if we manage to maybe draw a second Leper Gnome, or maybe a Clockwork Gnome or a Webspinner or something like that. But more often than not, we'll likely play a Mad Scientist or a Loot Hoarder turn 2, depending on what my opponent puts out on the board. Looks like he's already not enjoying my card though. Yeah, he actually decides to end the turn. So we're gonna go for a Loot Hoarder, considering we might as well. Get him buffed up and end my turn. So far you can already get a nice little idea of the deck, right? Like it's just a very straightforward deck that allows you to get very good wins, but you still need to use your head every now and then. My opponent is deciding to actually use the Eaglehorn Bow right there on that Undertaker, which is definitely fine with me. And should we force another one out of him? Or should we start just now? We're just gonna start hero powering. I just went on about how amazing the hero power is, so we definitely should be using it, especially if we have like a nice opener hand like this. For anyone wondering what the Glaivezooka does, this is one of the new Goblins versus Gnomes card. When you play it, give a random friendly minion +1 attack, which is fine with me. Looks like my opponent, by the way, played an explosive trap right there. Did he? Maybe it's actually a freezing trap. Was that like him metagaming me? It could be. Let's have a look. What was that? Is that an explosive? Okay, it is an explosive trap after all. Well, he's gonna give me some card draw and still take some damage to the face, so that's alright. Did we actually get an Arcane Golem? I guess turn 5 we'll play Undertaker, Loot Hoarder, Mad Scientist. Or do we? We can play it right now as well. Undertaker, Loot Hoarder would be okay. Arcane Golem would be also alright. We're actually just gonna go Arcane Golem. On an empty board like this, it's just gonna be more beneficial for us in the long run. I mean, he can either decide to face it with the Eaglehorn Bow, but really, what is that gonna achieve, right? And turn 5 is not the scariest amount of mana. Unless he's running Sludge Belchers, that would be annoying, but... Arcane Shot. Oh, a kill command. Okay. That's fine. Alright, so here we go. Gotta play these 3 cards all at the same time, so he won't be able to kill my Undertaker. It's gonna go all the way up to +4, which is nice. Which means he can't kill it with the Eaglehorn Bow. At this point, it's starting to be a real threat for him already. But this is where the weakness of this deck really comes into play, though. You can see, like, I'm not having a lot of cards in my hand. I got 21 left to draw, and even though we are running double Loot Hoarder, we're not gonna be able to get very much at this point. He's gonna kill command it. Now, this is where the Glaivezooka actually comes into play perfectly. Alright, I'm gonna be playing him. Let's see. Alright, you're gonna be buffing him up. Fool! We have another explosive trap right there in hand. And we're going full face once more. Just trying to spend the mana. And, well, at this point he's already at 10 health. We got an Animal Companion in hand, which could potentially be a hover with 4 attack. But we're also running another Eaglehorn Bow if you really need it. We got an Unleash the Hounds. We got another Arcane Golem as well as double Wolfrider. So, you know, this should be a victory as well. Whatever happens, it's gonna be pretty difficult for him to get anything done. Oh, we get a card draw. Now it looks like we are gonna be forced to just play my cards. Let's have a look. Oh, it's a hover, which is nice. And we're once again gonna steady shot. And that means that next turn, whatever happens, I mean, he's not gonna be able to nuke me down from 20 health. Next turn we can just steady shot and win. Hunters, generally speaking, don't have any healing unless he's running one of the passive cards. Or there's maybe a new Goblins versus Gnome card that that could be in here, but no, he doesn't have it. So that's too bad for him right there. He's gonna have to Savannah High Main, one of the best 6 drops in the game, but it's not gonna do it, dude. And there we go. Boom! So let's, I don't know if that is BM of me to do, but hey, we managed to win, right? So let's play one final game for this video. So far we managed to get 2 victories and 0 losses, which is pretty awesome if you ask me. It's a pretty good game as well. Like we aren't really having very much trouble with this deck, so to say. But you know, I'll be honest in saying that it's definitely also not the most skillful deck that you can go for. All right, let's have a look. Looks like we're up against a shaman right here. Ooh, no Undertaker. That's not an Undertaker either. I'm just gonna get rid of all of these guys. Just keep the Clockwork Gnome. We are having a lot of low mana creatures anyway, right? Everything is 1 to 3 mana, so it doesn't really matter if you mulligan anything little away. Now sadly we don't have anything huge at this point, but it's alright. I think we're gonna coin out the Webspinner and a Clockwork Gnome, unless we draw into an Undertaker, which is what we are looking for with the mulligan. Reflected is thinking. There we go. Looks like we didn't draw into it, but we'll play Webspinner just for the sake of having a 1 attack and a 2 attack minion out there. Now let's see, obviously if they play a very taunt heavy deck we might be in trouble, such as like the wolves and whatnot. Even though we have an Ironbeak Owl, it's not gonna do us very much good if we aren't able to nuke his minions down, right? Or nuke his face down rather. We're gonna go loot Hoarder here, hit that thing, and go for the face. He's trying to obviously get his spell power totems out, and most of the totems I think we need to go for no matter what. Unless it's maybe one of these, what's it called? Like the fire totem thing? Oh wow, he's gonna actually Earthshock the Webspinner. Alright, that's brave right there. Unless it's one of those guys, I'm not gonna bother with it, but... Let's have a look. Guess we're gonna go for another Clockwork Gnome right here. And steady shot. And well, guess what? Go straight for the face. Now sadly we didn't draw the Undertaker. If we would have drawn into the Undertaker, the game would have pretty much already been over. I would have had an extremely high health minion, but looks like that didn't happen. We need to watch out for things such as the storms. He's actually gonna lightning bolt right here and clear out a couple of my minions. Alright. Now we can clean that guy up. I think we're gonna have to. I don't really want that thing to get out of hand. A lot of the cards that they run are obviously overload. So you know, I'd rather do it like this. Play it somewhat safe than anything else. This is annoying though, because right now we're basically giving him a chance to get back into this. We don't really have very much to clean anything up, and we lost the board control that we had and gave it sort of, you know, back in his turn. So if he has any solid turn plays right now, and he has a 4 mana minion or like a big creature or maybe 2 smaller ones, we are in a lot of trouble. But if he's just gonna totem up and play something else silly, we are in a great position. Alright, he's just gonna totem up. Oh, he doesn't even have anything. Alright. Think I'm gonna hope for a huffer. That's not a huffer, but that's still okay with me. And just go for the face right here. Yeah, gonna hit that in the face as well, considering we have the Eaglehorn Bow. We might as well. Alright, alright. This is going alright. I mean, no matter what, he's not gonna have very much healing. Maybe he's running 1 or 2 cards with healing, but I highly doubt it. He's not a paladin or a priest or something like that. So, you know, we should be in a pretty good position here, especially since we still have the owl in hand as well. Explosive trap if he starts to play a lot of small minions. I actually really like where this is headed. Obviously, to play with a weapon and to hit him in the face with a weapon, we do need to play the We do need to get past taunts, but, you know, the Eaglehorn Bow into Ironbeak Owl is not a bad play most of the time. He's thinking. He knows he started to get in trouble. Like, one more turn, and we have basically won. Even at that point, we can likely just steady shot him down. Alright, Fire Elemental. He's gonna clean it up. Now that's not ideal though. That's not really what we were hoping for right there, but I guess we'll just Webspinner steady shot face. If he taunts it up, like I said, we have double Ironbeak Owl right now even, which should still give us the victory, especially considering there's a bunch of kill commands in the deck, and there's a big chance that we draw into them, but this was a good play right there by him. The Fire Elemental is hard to deal with. Alright, he's gonna go face with that. Obviously. Oh, wow. Alright, he's gonna overload himself pretty heavily right there. Well, that's a little bit unfortunate. Okay, let's have a look. I think I can just do it like that and go face instead. I think that's an alright decision. A little bit risky though. Yeah, actually now I think about it, I obviously have to trap right here that will give me a second charge of my bow, which is something we might need. No, I don't actually think it was that much of a mistake, sir, but it's okay. We'll see what you do. We should still be alright here. Alright. That should give us the victory next turn. Unless you have another taunt, at which point I actually have the Ironbeak Owl, so I'm pretty sure this is lethal. Yeah, it is. No, we're not going there. We're not going there. That's mean, Lowko, you can't do that. This was the closest game, though. I mean, he said I was making mistakes, so we'll just well play them. So that's exactly what I was talking about right there, about how this deck can be dirty. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button. If you want to see more, make sure you hit that subscribe button. But let me know what you think of these type of decks right below in the description or in the comment section. I want to thank you guys all for watching. Have an amazing day. Do not forget to smile, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!